Today we are going to create a meme generator from scratch using JavaScript. So let's do a demo. So you can choose any image. So for example, I choose this one. You can add some text like so. Let's add another text. So you can also change the color. So let's try this color. Okay, and add text like so. You can add another image if you want it. So let's say choose file. Let's try this one, and you can select it, move it around, you can scale it, and you can select an element and click on the delete button to delete that, and finally you can click the save button to save your meme. So as you can see, our meme was saved. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started. Let's create the index.html. So index.html, we also need style.css and a main.js. So in the HTML, let's create a basic markup. So hit exclamation mark, hit tab, let's close the sidebar. Let's link our CSS and JS files. So let's link the CSS first. So link, and it should be style.css, and say script source equals to main.js. So script source equals to main.js. So let's open it up with our live server. Okay, now we have a empty page. So let's create a canvas. So canvas, and I'm going to give it an ID of canvas. Okay, we can see it now. So let's style it. So we can say our canvas to have a background color of, for now let's just say red. So here is our canvas. So let's give our body this color. So let's inspect and let's copy this color. So Control C. So let's say our body should have a background color of the color we just copied. So let's say background color equals to the color we just copied. Okay, then we have a h1 with this text. So let's do that. So we can say h1, h1, and here we're gonna say meme and generator. So the generator is in italic, so we can use the I tag. So I, and we're gonna say generator. Okay, so now let's center everything. So we can say our body to have a display of flex. So let's say display of flex, and it's gonna have a flex direction of column. So let's say flex dash direction to column, and we're gonna say align items to center, align items center. Okay, let's give our body to have a color of white. So color of hashtag FFF. Okay, now let's go to target the h1. So h1 should have some margin. So we're gonna say margin. It's gonna have 1 em in top, 0 in right, 2 em on bottom, and 0 in left. So here, now we need to create this sidebar. So as you can see, the canvas and sidebar is placed side by side. So we are gonna wrap them in a container. So let's cut this and create a container. Inside that, we're gonna have this canvas, and we're also going to have a div with a class of sidebar. So sidebar. Okay, for now everything will be the same. So let's create these elements in the sidebar. So first we had this add image tag. So let's say paragraph and say add image. So add image. Then we had a input type file. So let's say input, the type should be file, and we're gonna give it an ID of image. So ID of, let's say, file. Okay, then we have these fields. They are kinda inside another container. So I'm gonna give that container a class of group. So let's say div with a class of dash group. Inside that we have a text area. So let's create the text area. Okay, we don't need all these attributes. So it will also have a placeholder. Let's say type something. Let's give it an ID of text. So ID equals to text. Then we had this color picker, so this is gonna be an input type color. So let's say input, the type will be color, and let's give it an ID of color. So we're gonna say ID to be color. And finally we had this add text button, so let's create the button, and the button will say add text, and this will also have a ID of add text. So let's say ID equals to add text. Then out of this container we had a button called save, so let's create that button. So let's say button, and it will say save, and it will also have an ID of save. So let's say ID equals to save. So if we save this, you'll see we have all of this, but they are looking very ugly, so let's style them. So let's first target our container. So let's say container, our container should have a display of flex, so let's say display flex. Okay, let's give it a, inside that we had sidebar, so let's say sidebar. Our sidebar should have a background color of transparent white, so we're gonna say RGBA, and we're gonna say 255, so 255, 255, and opacity is going to be 0.1. Okay, let's give some margin left, so we're gonna say margin left of 1 em, and we're also gonna give it a padding of 1 em, so let's say padding of 1 em. Okay, now let's make everything full width. So this text area, this input type color, the button, everything should be full width. So we're gonna say the everything inside the group, so we can say group and then asterisk, so say everything inside the group. Everything should have a display of block, so let's say display block, and everything will be in separate lines. So let's say everything should have a margin or top bottom of, let's say 0.5 em, and a left right of 0, and let's say them to have a width of 100%, with 100%, and box sizing to border box. So let's say box dash sizing to border box, so border box. Okay, I accidentally closed the CSS, so let me just open it up back. Okay, now let's style our buttons. So let's say button. The button should have a padding of, let's say 0.5 em, so 0.5 em, and we're gonna say button out of the group as well, so button. Now this button will be same as well. So our this group also had this background, so let's do that. So let's say group to have a background color of this, so Control C, we're gonna say dot group to have a background color of that. So let's Control V, Control S. Now we can see it. So let's say it should have a padding of, let's say 0.5 em. Okay, so here is our group. So let's also give it a margin, so let's say margin of top bottom of, let's say 1 em, and left right of 0. Okay, we also had some border radius, so let's do that. So we can say our sidebar should have a border radius of, let's say 3 pixel, and we're gonna do the same for the group. So let's copy this and paste it. Okay, now it is looking somewhat like what we had in our finished project. So let's go to the JavaScript part. So now we can remove the style of our canvas. Okay, so as to make our life easy, we are gonna use what is called Fabric.js, but don't worry, you don't need to know anything about Fabric.js. I'll teach you what you need to know. So the easiest way to import the Fabric.js in your project is to use the CDN. So just copy this. I'm going to link the finished code in the video description, so you can download it from there. So let me just paste the link here. So we are linking this JavaScript file through the CDN. Okay, now let's create the canvas in our JavaScript. So we're gonna say const canvas, so canvas equals to, we're gonna say fabric dot canvas, and here we have to pass the ID of our canvas. So our canvas had an ID of canvas here, so we can also pass some options. So let's say it should have a width, so let's say width, let's say width is going to be 500 and height is also going to be 500. So let's say height height of 500. We still can see it, so let's give it a background color. So we can say background color of white. Let me see if we have any error. It's like we have an error. Let's say cannot read properties, apply. So let's see what. So we are gonna say new fabric.canvas. We have to initialize a new object of our canvas, so we are saying the new keyword here. So as you can see, now we have a canvas with a height and width of 500 by 500. So now what we are gonna have to do is when a user selects an image, we have to show it in our canvas. So how we can do that? So first let's select our input fields, file input field. So we're gonna say let file equals to document.getElementById. So document.getElementById. So our file input had a ID of file. Okay, so we're gonna say file.onChange. So file.addEventListener. So when it's changed, we're gonna run this function. So for now we can simply just say console log file.files. So if we do this and open up our console, let's try to choose our files. So if I choose this one, as you can see, this gives us a list of files that user has chosen. So we only want one file, so we can say files 0. So now we'll only get one file. So let's choose a file again. Let's choose this one, and you'll see we get a file object. So the user may just click here and cancel. In that case, we'll get undefined. So we're gonna say let file equals to, we're gonna say let image equals to this file.files, and we're gonna check if the user has not selected any image. So we can say if image. So if the user does not have selected an image, we can return, otherwise we will continue. So what we're gonna do is use a file reader to read our image. So we're gonna say reader equals to new file reader, and we're gonna say reader.read data as. So we're gonna say reader.read file as URL. So actually it should be reader.read data as URL, and we're gonna say img, and when it is done reading the file, it will run this onload function. So we can say onload equals to this, and then we can get the data by saying let data equals to file reader. So reader dot result. So let's console log this. So we can say console log data. It should be data, not date. So data. Let's save it. Open our console and try to select a file. So this one. As you can see, we get a base64 string of the image that is selected. So now we can say fabric.image. So we can say fabric.image.from URL, and we're gonna read the image from the URL. That will be the data, and then this will call this callback function and passing in an image object, and we simply have to say canvas.add_image. So like so. So if we do this and select a file, let's say poo.img. So as you can see, the image was added, but the image is very big, so it's getting out of this canvas. So to fix this, we can say if image.width. So we can say if img.width is greater than the canvas width. So we can say canvas.width. So if the width of the image is greater than the canvas of width, we're gonna say img.scale to width. So img.scale to width and canvas.width. So now the image is greater than the canvas, then the image will fit to the canvas. So let's try it again. So as you can see, now the image is fit in the canvas, and we can also move it, scale it, do whatever we want. Now we have to just make the text work. So let's say, so our add text button had an ID of add text. So let's copy this, and we're gonna say let add text button. So let add text btn equals to document.getElementById add text, and we're gonna say this dot add event listener. So we can say add button dot add event listener. We're gonna listen for the click event. When it is clicked, let's just simply do the alert. So let's say alert add text. So if we click this, we get this alert. Okay, so now we need to get the value of this text area and the color. So let's first select them. So we're gonna say let text equals to document.getElementById by id text, because our text area had an id of text and our color field has a id of color. So we're gonna say let color equals to document.getElementById by id color. And to add text here, we use fabric.text. So we're gonna say let text equal to new fabric.text, and we're gonna say whatever the value of our input is to be the text, and we're also putting some option. We're gonna say left to 100 and top to 100. So basically the text will be put here initially. We're also setting the font size to, let's say, 20 pixel, and the color should be the value of this input color. Okay, so if we do this and let's try to write something. So let's say hello and click on add text. Okay, let's see, let's open up our console. So it says cannot, okay, it's saying cannot access text before initialization. So let's see what's wrong. Okay, we already have a variable with a class of text, so we can say text here. So let's say underscore text, so underscore text, and now let's try again. So let's say hello and click on add text. As you can see, the text was added. We can move it, we can scale it. Okay, let's try to add a text of different colors. So let's try this color and click on add text. As you can see, we get a text of that color. Okay, what's next? Okay, we also had the ability to click on something and press the delete button to delete the object. So let's try to do that. So let's go here and we're gonna say window.addEventListener. So window.addEventListener, we're gonna listen for the key down event. So basically when someone presses any button on the keyboard, this function will be executed. So let's just say alert, and we're gonna say e.key. So basically whatever we click, that will be alert here. So if we alert enter, it says enter. If we click on delete button, this says delete. And let's copy this. So now we can say if e.key equals to, so e.key equals to the delete button, we're gonna say fabric canvas, oops, control Z, so canvas dot remove. So we can say remove, and we're gonna remove the object that is selected. So for example, if we select this one and click delete, this one should be deleted. So we can get that selected object by saying canvas dot get active object. So let's say that. So let's say canvas dot get active object. So let's say canvas dot get active object, so bject, something like this. Let's try it and let's see if that works or not. So let's try, click on this, select it and click on delete, and as you can see, the object was deleted. So let's see if everything is working. So let's see, we can add an image, we can add a text, we can select a color, you can click on the add text. As you can see, the text was added, and now we just have to make it so we can save the canvas. So if we click the save button, the canvas should be saved as an image. So let's do that. So our save button had an ID of save. So let's say save button. So save button equals to document.getElementById save, and we're gonna listen for the click event. So we can say add button dot save button dot add event listener click. When it is clicked, and we can get the canvas as an image by saying let data equals to canvas dot to data URL. This will convert the canvas into an image and give us a base 64 string of that image. So now we can say let link equals to document.createElementLink. So we are creating an a tag and we are setting the href to basically the base 64 string, and we are saying link.download equal to image.png. whatever you say here, the canvas will be saved as that name. And finally we have to say link.click. So if we now let's click add some image. So let's say this image, let's say hello. Let's say white color, like so. Let's add text. Here is our text. Let's scale it like so, and we can click on the save button, and our canvas was saved as image. So I hope you learned something from this video. If so, toss a like, and I will see you next time.